Hello and welcome to Uptown Tonight. It is the end of May finally. We're getting into June. We got some thunderstorms happening out there, and man, summer just came just like that. It wasn't a couple weeks ago. We had a couple feet of snow. You couldn't even see my green car that's in the driveway. And yeah, now it's 90 degrees, rain. I've had to mow the lawn. I don't know if I like this summer. Well, wait. No, I do like this summer. So I'm just kidding. We're here today with Mr. Mike. Oh, no. Did we lose a camera already? Oh, my gosh. Here we go. We're going to have to go with one angle. I'll try to fix this as we go along here. But we got the one, the only Mike Morse. And oh, my gosh. Thank you for being on today, Mike.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Yeah, I basically ran into him last weekend. And I was like, hey, Mike, you want to be on the podcast? And he was, sure. And I had this opening, and he was just gracious enough to take it. So that really helped me out on a few spots as well. But I got to talk about me. I am your host, Mr. Wayne Stollenfacher, or Discount Tom Cruise, or Tom Brady. Sometimes I get called Steve Wozniak. I don't understand where these people are coming up with this stuff, but you can call me whatever you want. And here at the Uptown Tonight Podcast, we do believe a rising tide does raise all ships, and we're here to do our best to help rise that tide for the FM area with FM area community entertainers. I can speak today by basically showcasing the FM area entertainers. So today we have Mike, but first I got to talk about me and what I did last weekend. And there's old Zebras. He definitely doesn't look like that anymore. But, either does that couch. And then Cito's holding on to old Junior there. Junior helps us spread around the word of the Uptown shirts that we have for sale. So we do have some merch out there. We're going to be at Windbreak this week. So if you're in town, come and help us out and buy some Uptown shirts. That'd be awesome. And then Zeben does say support our troops, and I am a little biased since my son's in the military as we speak, but you should be supporting our troops anyways, and there's Zeben showing us all. Now the first one here, we're at the Lazy Fish, and that's what it looked like behind my drum kit before all the fun stuff started happening, and I do have a little bit of a video on that one, so it's not much, but it shows what the area is like. Right off the lake. Oh, it was so nice. Gorgeous night, too. Yes, and Iron Cobras. Gorgeous night as well. And then here we are over at the Cormorant Pub right after Mr. Mike Morse over here. So I actually got a little bit of Mike playing that night. So this is what it looked like from behind the scenes.
Stolen footage.
Yep. But you can even hear that bass through that in your sound system. It was so good. Just epic. But that was basically my weekend. I didn't really have much else going on. And, ZB says that's all right. He likes me when I'm at home a lot better anyways. But let's get to Mike Morse. I'm boring over here, and I got to fix that camera. So, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for doing this.
Doing great, man. Great week. Looking forward to another one.
Yeah, it looks like you're busy out there. I saw you put up one of your posts of all the shows that you're playing this summer, and it was just you had to get out the old spectacles and sit there and actually read some of them.
Yeah, I'm busy, and I like it that way.
As you should. Let's see, did I fix this? Ha! We got it back.
Awesome.
Yes, all right. So we need to learn a little more about you, Mike. We had a little bit of a chat before everything started here, and it sounds like that you have a very extensive musical background. We'll say maybe that's the easiest way to say it.
Sure.
But you said you started at the age of 15?
Actually, my first professional gig, I was 13.
13.
Jeez. I did the opening of the Bull and Bear Saloon in Red Lodge, Montana.
How? With what? What'd you do?
Just me and a guitar. Just
you
like
and a
it
guitar?
Is now. Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then things happened. I found rock and roll, spandex, makeup, and ended up in a rock band. I wish I got some
photos of that.
Ended up in a rock band.
In a rock band at the age of 15 then, is that?
Yep.
I know, I'm pushing everything along here.
with 35, 37-year-old guys. Jumped in a school bus and ran across America.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was a dream of mine. So that's my whole thing was if I got to go on tour, I was going to have my nose pierced, just like Vinnie Paul from Pantera. That was my whole thing. But I played metal, and, if you can understand the lyrics, we didn't want to hear it. So, yeah, it was a little, all that thing went out again. What
That's
is
all
going on with my camera today? I don't know, but but that's my story behind there. But so you got started at 13, and you're on a bus at age 15. How'd you get started with music in the first place? Your musical family? What's going on?
No, not at all. I mean, besides the sister who played bassoon, or I think my brother played trombone for like a year or something like that. I really don't remember what they played,
Hey,
but
my brother played trombone.
But no, we're all adopted too, so we all had different paths to take. But my family was not musical at all, really. And so I stole my sister got a Decca guitar for Christmas, and she had it about a year, and then I stole it.
What age was this?
7, 8, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I knew that's what I wanted. I already had the band put together in 3rd, 4th grade. Didn't know how to play, but I had the band put together. And my dad taught at the college, and he had the music teacher there teach me a few chords, and then I kind of went on my way and stole that guitar and put it in the hayfield and learned how to play it.
Very good. So where was this at?
This was actually in Powell, Wyoming.
Powell, Wyoming. Okay.
Yeah, and that a lot of people know me that I'm from Red Lodge, Montana, and I say that because that's where I grew up. My younger years, where I did the real growing up was in Red Lodge.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I love the skiing there.
Yeah.
That was the last time
I
actually
wasn't
went
into
mountain
skiing. I wasn't into skiing at all. I just wanted to
What?
play in the bar.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Did you ever go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not into it.
Oh, okay.
Not
That's
into
fair
it.
enough.
I mean, when the guy behind you in class is already on the U.S. Olympic trials team because that's what he does.
What?
Still teaches skiing. Yeah, you had those kind of kids that were just natural skiers, and I was a natural guitar player, I guess. So that's what I did.
So you just basically figured out a few chords, and then how'd you learn after that?
Yeah, just like we were talking about. I wish I would have grown up in these days where you could just plop on a YouTube video and learn how to play Van Halen. But it was wearing out the tape deck with a rewind button.
Also, all by ear, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. That's actually, I think it's one of the best ways to learn, but it takes a while. There's a big curve
It's a
in
big
that.
challenge. That amazing slowdowner thing they came up with sooner or later sure helped a lot. But yeah, and just, like I said, just jumped on a school bus and played all over. I think one of the first, within the first 6 months, that I joined with the older guys, I was off to Indianapolis from Montana.
So how'd you get hooked up with these guys in the first place? What was the name of this band?
It was a band called Persuader.
Persuader.
And they had a bunch of
80s.
different types of bands, and
Okay.
Guys come, they go, and then all of a sudden, well, we need a guy, and here's this 15-year-old high school kid who's been coming over here. Let's give him a shot. And next thing you know, but I was already playing around town. Like every time a band would come into town, there were bands that kind of took me under their wing, and I would jam with them on Friday and Saturday nights. And
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
a lot of mentors back then.
So people they're just receptive of you coming up and just playing, or
Well, I lived in a town, Red Lodge, where I grew up.
Yep.
My growing up years, I should say. There were like 8 road bands, that went out for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks at a time.
right out of Red
Right
Lodge.
out of Red Lodge. So, yeah,
Man.
yeah. I was fortunate to be in that kind of scene, and my parents, even though they were teachers, they just kind of let me do it because they knew that if they didn't, I probably wasn't going to be real happy.
Of course, with the age of 15, you definitely haven't graduated high school then.
Never graduated high school.
Okay. Seems like you're doing just fine.
Things are good. There's some things I regret, but hey, that's okay.
It's the way life goes.
I mean, it's really hard when you get stuck, where maybe you're building something and you have to figure out something mathematical and you have to go back and teach yourself how to do it. That kind of stuff, I regret not paying attention a little bit more. And the funny thing is one of the reasons I wanted to leave is that I was scared to get up and give a report in English. Isn't that weird? But I'll get up and play guitar in front of you.
And sing for everybody. Yeah, what
yeah.
everyone else is deathly afraid of doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm weird. That's all right.
Hey, it's the way the world works. So, what kind of music were you playing then with this band?
We played a lot of rock. You know, I mean, I did the whole spandex makeup, Rat, Warrant, Cinderella.
Just like Dan Fuca?
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
know, but
God.
then I was in on the Bruce Springsteen, you know, when he was hot, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown top 40 stuff, you know. Basically whatever we had to play to make a living or some sort of a living, you know, I would do it.
So, whatever the crowd was looking for.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever, you know. I jumped after that band. I jumped bands a lot.
Okay.
Just because looking for the right combination, looking, you know.
Are you still on the road then, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And I would move to wherever. I mean, I'd move to Dallas. I'd move to I moved to the East Coast. You know, Virginia once.
Oh my.
So Texas.
All right. So you're all over the place playing all this stuff. But what age did you finally decide that you just need to settle in?
Well, boy.
Or how many bands, maybe?
50, maybe.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
I was kind of a hired gun there for a while. You know.
Okay.
Just whoever was paying more, I was going. You know.
So just doing guitar, or were you doing?
Yeah. No, I was just a guitar player.
Okay.
You know, backup vocals, sing a couple songs a set. You know, that kind of guy.
Gotcha.
Side guy. You know, but I loved it till I figured out maybe I shouldn't do that. Do a little bit more self-promotion. I was always a songwriter, so.
Oh, so yeah, we got to get into that too. So
Yeah, we'll get into that.
There's a whole lot of original type things happening there. But you said you had a great story of how you ended up in North Dakota.
Well, it's really strange because, you know, I have out of playing out there for 15, 20 years on the road, joined the band here, moving there, whatever. You meet a lot of people, but it's also a big network, you know, and back then, you know, places you played there 5-6 nights a week, you know, but you always had problems, you know. You'd be and I'll just tell you the story of how it came about. I was playing in Laughlin, Nevada for Don Laughlin, and our bass player had to leave, whether that was by his choice or not. I'm not going to get into, but anyway,
Okay.
He had to go.
Fair enough.
And so I'm thinking, well, I got to start making some calls, you know, to find a bass player. And so I called a friend who had moved here, amongst other people that I called, and he's like, yeah, I think I know a guy here that would go. And so I got on the phone with Mr. Rock Mengi and sent him a plane ticket, and next thing you know, he was in Laughlin, Nevada, and playing a gig with us. And he came back here. I remember I made him leave his bass guitar when he came back here for a week off, so that he would come back. And then he came back and eventually ended up leaving the band and coming back to North Dakota. Well, the band kind of fizzled out after that, and I was in Dallas, just hanging out, looking for the next road gig. And I called Rock, and he's like, well, why don't you just move up to Fargo? And I jumped in my van the next night and drove all the way to Fargo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So where were you at? Out of Dallas then?
I was in Dallas when I moved here. In
Okay.
1996, I moved here the first time.
Oh my God, we probably crossed paths. Because I was going down to University of North Texas at the time, between 95 to 97.
Well, I actually lived in Denton, so.
Yeah, so did I. On East Street, E Avenue, something like
1500 Olympia Street.
that. Oh, Jesus. We probably ran into each other a few times and didn't
Yeah,
even realize
yeah.
it. Went to the Walmart on Teasley.
Could be.
And I worked at that Pizza Hut out there. Bleh.
Yeah, so I just jumped in my
That's
van,
fucking
came up here,
crazy.
yeah.
Nice. So you spent the next, how many hours did that take? 14, I think, was my record.
I think it
14
was
to
somewhere around 15 and a half,
Yep.
you know. I had a camper van, so I was like, you know.
Yeah, you weren't
little,
speedy.
No, just
Just
wasn't
going.
speedy, wasn't real, you know, in a big hurry. I do remember coming in with a snowstorm, And it was
Oh, of course. And
was
you're there 97 for the big flood.
Yeah, it was my first year here.
Okay.
The heater vent was my best friend.
Welcome to Fargo.
Yep. Welcome to Fargo.
I'm glad they got most of that under control now. So
Yeah. It's nice not to deal with that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Rockman, he brought you into town.
He did. He's him and a guy named Larry Loggy. I don't know if you remember Larry Loggy. He was here for a while back in the 90s.
No.
Billings, Montana guy.
Okay.
Who we all knew, and the only reason we knew about Fargo was because of the Anderson brothers, because they had been playing out in Montana, and we'd known the Anderson brothers forever. The first time I met Dave Anderson was in Montana.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just that road network of people.
Yeah, you think the world's so large, and then you realize it's not.
It's really not.
No. Just all this stuff. That is.
It's even
cool.
Smaller now with the internet.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Yep.
But what kept you here then? I know it wasn't the food.
No, but in all these bands, I played every region of the United States, and I hate to even say this, but there's no other market like the Upper Midwest.
I've been hearing that a few times.
I mean, you can't do this in Florida. You can't do this. You can't do this in Virginia. You can't do this in Arizona. You can't come up and play and make a decent wage.
Okay.
I mean, it's different. There's a definite difference. What solo people will play for around here, they pay bands.
Oh, serious?
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would ask you why you think that is, but I don't know if there's probably a real answer for that.
Well, I think a lot of it's the
competition,
geographics.
Okay.
I mean, nobody wants to come up here from there and spend a winter here driving around playing music.
That's true. Isn't that whole Simpsons episode where it's basically they're trying to figure out where to go to vacation, and they had 2 states left they haven't been. One was North Dakota, and they voted that one out.
Yeah, yeah. And the sad thing is some of the best times I've had playing of all the places I've played.
Yeah.
Were right here in this state.
Oh,
which
really?
Is so yeah. I mean, you can't beat the people. I mean, I get a lot of flack being from Montana, like
it's okay.
Montana, North Dakota jokes. I mean, they're like, why? Well, it's more than scenery. I get your scenery's great, but the people out here are good. They're good people.
It's good old-fashioned folks.
Yep.
But let's get to as if you're on the road all the time doing basically, I'm going to guess just mostly covers, like a cover band.
Lot of covers.
And
been in a few project bands that did originals. But,
okay.
So
what got you started doing the original thing besides just the obvious?
I started writing music in 7th grade.
7th grade.
7th grade. My sister was a poet.
Oh,
and she would
interesting.
hand me her stuff, and then I would make songs out of it.
Okay.
And then it got into no offense to John Denver, but these are a little too John Denver-y for me. I can't speak about leaves and trees and stuff like that all the time.
Country home.
And I just started doing it. I mean, it's nothing magical. It's nothing, it's a craft. The more you do it, the better you get at it,
I'm into that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've just been doing it forever. And finally, thanks to my wife and her support of get out there and do it, I started doing it again, so.
Started writing and recording and all that?
Writing and recording and releasing and, and it's so nice not to be free, just to be free of everything. I make my decisions. I want to do how I want it to sound, it's my call. And that's just that freedom. That's just awesome.
That's why you're going out as a solo type.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No drama.
So when did you break away from the bands?
Just 2 or 3 years ago. Well.
Oh, really?
Pandemic.
Oh, so that stopped everything?
Yeah.
What were you playing with before?
Who?
Yeah, who? Not what. Hi.
Hello. I did a decade plus with the Roosters.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just, that dried up. This is no drama. and it's just a relief, you know.
Yeah.
Win or lose.
Just get out there and do your thing.
Yep.
And now he sounded great out there even.
Oh, thanks, man.
And so yeah, I mean, it's a great product that you're bringing on. So how much writing have you been doing then? So how many albums? Do you have any physical stuff? What's going on with all that?
I released, just one EP last year.
Okay.
I've released a couple of singles off a new EP I'll have coming out in the near future.
Gotcha. So do you actually make the EPs, or you just put it all up on
No.
like Bandcamp or whatever?
No. I have a producer and
okay.
an engineer and a couple of guys that I've actually worked with for 20 plus years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. A couple of recording projects I did with bands. I just kind of hung out and got to be friends with the people that they used and networked through that and met a few other people. And
exactly.
Yeah. Mark Oliverius is my producer. He's a great guy.
Oh, very good.
He's got a couple of top 10 hits himself. He's musical director for Lori Morgan, Pam Tillis, Joe Diffie.
Just name a few.
Yeah. He's a good dude. Good dude.
Joe Diffie. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah. It's tragic that he's gone.
Cool. So take me through like how you get all that going. Do you just sit there and you start writing music and then you send it off to them and see if they're going to accept it, or do they have something that they might figure that's
It's all
good for
my
you?
call. They'll record anything I want to record.
Okay.
And I give them the vibe, I give them the melody, the lyric, the scratch track. They send me back some scratch tracks. We go over a few things.
Gotcha.
Get on a plane, go sing, come back, wait a week or two, and they've put all the pixie dust on it.
Of course. Where do you record at?
OMG Nashville.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Right in the thick of
That's
it.
Oliverius Music Group, not Oh My God.
OMG. LOL. Oh,
yeah.
geez.
Well,
This day and age, yes.
You got to explain.
That's a
it, I guess.
hashtag. No, it's a sharp. That's a sharp.
That's a sharp. Yeah, so that's been a great experience. The real cool one is that, the last one I did all by myself. I went down there. I was there for a week. This time, took the family. Got to do some touristy things
Nice.
with them. I lived there, so it's not that big a deal. But it was really nice to take Garrett and Lori and hang out.
Show them around, yes.
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be show them around, but, I moved back in 2003, and it's almost unrecognizable.
Oh,
So,
serious?
yeah, I mean, the main points of interest are still in the same spot, but everything else is just like
Oh.
bachelorette party,
Kind of.
USA.
I've heard that so many times about Nashville. I've yet to or go there, but I'll get there at some point.
You really
But I hear
do.
the same thing about Austin, because I actually had an open invite to go live in Austin, Texas. The old friend of mine, the Kellers.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure
I know them.
You know them?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Kellers wanted me to come down there, and they had a room and everything else, and I used to go down and hang out with Mike and all that. And, yeah, they say now but last time I was there was 97, so
Yeah.
they say no, none of it's the same.
None of it.
So I
No.
think Mike's still in the same house, but
Yeah. Probably so. Probably so.
been trying to. Well, I talk to him here and there, and maybe one day I'll get him on the podcast.
You should. You should.
Should.
He's done some cool stuff.
Yeah, he's done a lot of cool
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, love that guy. Used to hang out with him and his family all the time.
Awesome.
But enough about that fun stuff. We're here for you, Mike, not the other Mike. Cool. So how do you release then? Because I know it's like the new way of doing this stuff is that they'll record, they record a bunch of tunes and then you'll release them like periodically. So they're kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, there's no formula to it, but there's different guys will give you different ideas on how to do it.
Okay.
It's definitely, as in my experience, better to just periodically release singles.
That's what it sounds like. The best thing to do today is you don't want to, just with the attention span and everything else, it's so much information out there, is that if you dump a bunch of information on top of somebody, they're just not going to process it.
Yeah. The thing that I've learned too, though, and it's a little trick too, is that if you release a couple singles and then you're going to release an EP, say you release 3 singles off an EP and then you release the whole EP as a project, it doesn't hurt to go back and re-release anything that did good and just re-release that song because it gives you the double. Yeah. So there's little tricks like that, that
it's kind of like in the YouTube world where they basically put up a thumbnail, then the next day they'll put up a different thumbnail, so you go back and think you're going to hit it again.
Right, yeah. Just a manipulative thing, But
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Getting the spins. Getting the spins and stuff. Well, I got a couple photos of you.
Uh-oh.
So I went to
the ones you took?
No, I went on to your Facebook and the Mike Morse music thing and just grabbed a few that I found of interest. I was like, what is this about?
I might have to put my glasses on.
I'm going to make you explain this. So let's see.
Okay.
Got that. Okay, so this is one of your cases.
Oh, jeez.
I know you've been knowing about making these fancy cases.
I do. It's kind of a hobby because, nobody wants to buy high-dollar cases, but well, some people do.
They're all cheap.
I am too. That's actually an ISO cabinet for a 112 Savage cabinet.
Okay.
And it's for guys who play with ears. It's double mic'd, and it's just off a couple of designs I took off of other guys making those ISO cabinets to cut the stage volume down because guitar players play too loud.
What? No.
I've heard. Yeah. So I designed that whole thing. That's kind of like the prototype, the miking system, that whole thing. I'll just hand built it in my garage. Those were all products of the pandemic because me and my garage were one.
Got to do something.
I sat out there and I put together 3 guitar rigs in like a year and a half.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 different, all new. Yeah, just sat out there and tinkered.
So does that have a cover to it too then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you put a cover over it and you can't hear it.
So where would you put something like that? You don't put that on the stage then, do you?
You can, or you can leave it off stage wherever.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter where it's at.
Ah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the drummer won't hate you box.
I never minded, but I grew up with Marshall stacks next to me the entire time.
Well, that means you're deaf.
Yeah, exactly, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, it's just a project, something I wanted to try and do, and now I don't play in bands anymore, so it's still sitting in my garage.
So basically, you just got a case there, and then
that's my road manager.
Okay.
Well, I should say my honorary road manager so that Garrett doesn't get mad because I have a road manager at home. But yeah, the name of that is his name is Brock.
Okay.
And he's on a farm over in New York Mills. And I swear to God, this is the coldest gig I've ever played. Not this day that I took the picture with him, but I played out there in October and it was 31 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's dedication to the cause.
It was fun. They had a couple heaters around me, so it actually wasn't so bad. But yeah, the guitars didn't like it too much. But yeah, I kind of adopted him as my honorary.
And what's the deal with the llamas then?
Well, I was on this farm, and it's kind of like a hobby farm. It's a Otterberry farm,
Gotcha.
And they have like a big pumpkin maze, and they have all the animals, and they just have all sorts of stuff out there.
Okay.
So yeah, I play that gig once a year, and I'm really bummed. We tried to get back there this year, but schedule filled up too quick. So I will not be playing outside in October this year.
Well.
And I'm kind of bummed, actually.
Yeah.
I guess the people that run it are great. They're spent their time in Montana, so they give me crap about being out here, and I'm like, well, you're here too.
It's a reason to head east.
Always a good football conversation with them because they're Montana State fans.
Oh my gosh, Montana State.
Yeah. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh man, you're gonna bring up that picture.
Well, I saw it there as I was buying a guitar today, too, off of Facebook Marketplace. And this is what you don't do on Marketplace, is that you don't tell someone that, yeah, I'll meet you at a certain time, and then put a sold thing up there an hour later, and then you go and meet them, and they're wondering why you're there. Because they sold it already. I'm like, so I was not happy about that. But I saw this beautiful thing right there.
That guitar right there, that's Rosie.
Rosie?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that it's a
it's good when they got a name.
1975, bought brand new in Bozeman, Montana by a friend of mine by the name of Randy Keller.
Nice.
And Randy, when I was telling you before, there were a lot of people that took me under their wing when I was a kid. When I was a kid, 13, 14, really trying to play with a band, Randy took me under his wing, and every time they were in town, I played with the band. It was just awesome guy. And
nice mentor.
Yeah, very, very nice. And it's funny because we've reconnected in the last couple of years, which is why this picture is up on my site actually. But when you're 13 and you have an Ibanez Roadstar as a guitar, this is like the creme de la creme.
Oh, yeah.
And Randy, he was kind of intrigued by my Roadstar, but I was at that age where I'd loan it to you, but then I don't have anything to play, and I play like 24 hours a day because I'm obsessed. And he's like, "Here, take my Les Paul."
What?
Yeah, and if you sift through any more pictures, you'll find a 13-year-old picture of me passed out with that guitar. I'm sleeping with it, and it's the night that he let me loan it. He let me have it all weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, and with a Gibson, a 13-year-old kid, that headstock, they're known to break. I mean, one little slip, you let it fall over, and it's toast. Yeah. So he let me take that for the whole weekend, and I've worshipped that guitar ever since. He still owns it.
Such in this
collection
today. Yeah, the guitar's as old as me. And then this, I just love this, like Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee. I think it said on there.
Yeah, it's like some sort of weird,
coffee.
Yeah. The reason that's the backdrop to the stage that I played.
Okay.
I play a place in St. Hilaire, Minnesota quite regularly on Wednesday nights for their wing night. And that was the backdrop. I set up right in front of that.
You're definitely catching somebody's eye.
He's just got then there's a whole back room, and it's nothing but walls and walls of beer. A big off sale going on there. So that's how that got in the.
I just never seen that before.
I've never seen that flavor before.
Yeah. It's like
It was kind of strange that it was there, but it was, and that's just the way it went.
There was just a lot of it.
Next week it'll be different.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then your setup. Was that the same setup we were watching you play with?
That is.
Okay.
That is.
That
was just
great.
The week before.
God. Just full.
Yeah, man, that's a nice PA. I'm and I got to thank any of my fans out there that are listening. I bought that whole system with tips.
That's a beautiful thing.
I bought a lot of things with tips. I'm very fortunate that I have some great support out there.
That's awesome. So that's like your regular setup?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Then I saw this and I was like,
Yeah, that's the current basement project.
There you go.
That was last week. It's changed since then. But
of course.
Yeah. I'm just setting up. I've always had a studio in my basement, but this one is geared more towards being a little bit more proficient in songwriting, because I do it every day, but it's not always a great routine, and this makes it so much easier to be productive.
Just get engaged.
Yeah, and plus I'm a gearhead, so it's fun. I hope my wife didn't send you a picture of the garage.
Oh, no.
Good.
You don't want to see mine either.
Oh, man. It's nothing but flight cases.
Oh, mine's a Mustang and just junk.
No, I got to put my glasses on. What is this? Oh.
That was just that.
Oh,
Then
okay.
it was just your picture.
Okay,
so
good.
That was a great picture of you and everything else. But I got to get to the weekend report
Sure,
here.
man.
But I'm going to ask you this question and have you think about it during the time.
Sure.
Where do you see yourself going in the future with music and everything else? But I'm going to let you hang on to that and think about it for a moment. But we're going to get over here. Cito, we miss you, man. All right, here we are heading uptown at the windbreak as Uptown will be playing out there. Who's that band? On Thursday and Friday night, 1st and 2nd. Then Drive will be out there on Saturday the 3rd at Southtown Poorhouse up in Grand Forks. You got Drive again on Friday. You see how all that's working out. Then at the Maury Community Theater, Hello Girls, the musical, is out there for the, I think it's about a week and a half worth. So you got the 2nd to the 11th. So it's opening up on this Friday at the Community Theater. Then we're at Downtown Acoustic Corner this Wednesday, happening probably right now. Gina Powers at Murphy's Pub. And there's donuts at Roundup Saloon, at least that I could find. Oh, wow. Tomorrow night we got Brady Robertson at Murphy's Pub, and then Shane Bertrand at Camp Lone Star. Hi, there's a little bit of a Spaceballs reference for you. Camp Lone Tree on the roof there over there. So if you want to see some good old-fashioned Weird Al, that's the place to go, Shane Bertrand. Then we have Rachel Nero is going to be at the Spicy Pie in West Fargo. And then on Friday we got Lula at the Troll Lounge, Karma at Tailgaters, and Rick Adams at the Oxbow Country Club. On Saturday we have Dylan Sperlin at the Troll Lounge. And then on Sunday we have Happily Together at Camp Lone Tree. Folks, we're going downtown. We got the open mic night with Travis Niros next Monday the 5th. And on the Cellar, we have Mike happening probably in a few minutes. Would be Mark Quay Belcher at the Cellar, the open mic night out there. So if you're looking to tighten up that 2 minutes of stand-up, that's the place to be tonight. And at the Side Street, we have Jazz Night next Monday the 5th. And then the M&J Salon, we have the 8th Hour with Brianna. I think that's the first time that Brianna's going to be working with them, these live. So head on out, M&J Saloon on Saturday the 3rd. Then Jasper Hotel, Dylan Sperlin will be in residency there all month on Thursday. Now we're still downtown. We're at Dempsey's. We have Desperate Electric tonight, and then open mic tomorrow with Gina Powers and the Crop Dusters on Friday. At the Aquarium, we have Apothic, Balsuga Saga, Pursuit and Prediction of a Witch on Friday. Off with Their Heads, Single Mothers on Saturday, Blessed, Others, Disappear Forever, and Mel Mormine, I think that's how you say it, on Sunday the 4th. And at the Alibi, we have open mic night tomorrow night, and then at Icewind Brewing, we have Quick 56 out there on Saturday. The Blarney Stone, Retrolution hitting the stage tomorrow night the 1st, and then Big and Hungry out there Sunday. So they have a new Sunday thing, I think, between like 11 and 2. I might be making that up. I think it starts at 11 o'clock. With Big and Hungry over at the Blarney Stone downtown. And then we got Troll Lounge. You have Tucker out. That was from last week. We're out of town. The O has nothing going on this week, which is really surprising. We normally have stuff going on every time. At Laughing Sun Brewing, our favorite brewing company in the Bismarck Van Dan area. We have Brandon Foster on Thursday, Desperate Electric on Friday, and then SPG Dud General on Saturday the 3rd. Zorba's in Park Rapids. GB Layton will be hitting the stage on Saturday the 3rd. At Ojata Records in Grand Forks, we have the Pushovers in Jomenke, Desperate Electric, Autopilot, Sharon on Thursday the 1st. So tomorrow, I think there's some kind of get out or schools out type celebration they're doing out there. Then Crafty's Bar and Grill in Harvey. We have the Mike Morse. And I know he's got another one that I just didn't quite get on there, but we'll have him explain that. And that's all we have for this week's weekly report. So back to Mike, and let's ask him again. It's like, where does he see himself going in the future here? It's like, what are your plans? What do you think is going to be going down?
You know, I'm pretty content right where I'm at. You know,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, but, I mean, the reason I got into the original thing or back into it and started pushing it is I would like to sign a publishing deal. I just want to write. I don't want to. I didn't get into that, so you know I could sign a record deal and do the blah blah blah. You know?
Of course,
not my thing. I mean, if one were to come along, I might consider it. But you know, but yeah, I would like to write. I'd like to be able to just write. You know, but other than that, and just have a good career regionally of playing music because I really just dig playing live. You know.
And you seem to have quite the following on all that, and definitely
things are going around. Good, man. I've got places in my calendar where I do 11 days in a row this
11
summer.
days.
You know, and then take a day off and do like 7 more.
That's awesome. I wish I could do something like that, but you know, When you're the dirty drummer in the back there,
The
yeah.
dirty drummer, the dirty drummer.
You're good for
I'm
moving
surprised
equipment.
you had me. You haven't heard, drummers usually shy away from me.
Oh, for what?
Drummer joke.
Drummer. Oh.
It's all right.
I gotcha.
It's
So-
all in fun.
So that's cool. So basically, how do you, just to pick your brain a little bit on this whole idea of being able just to write, is do you have to sit there and, well, I know, obviously you got to keep writing music, but is there other people that you send stuff to, or you just kind of hope that things just start connecting?
You, as far as releasing it, or just as far as writing
Just
it?
becoming a writer.
Man, I got so much stuff up here, and
'Kay.
so many road stories and things that have happened. I'm doing some collaborating with a friend of mine out in Wyoming right now, but I like writing alone for some reason.
Okay. So you sit in the basement, and then how do you usually start off with that? Do you come up with like lyrics, or you got an idea, or do you have like a melody, a little hook that you're trying to work
lyrics a lot. I'm a lyric guy.
into? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I and the music, I mean, it just kind of, it's just there. I can hear it, so then I just, figure it out. And
Yeah, and since you learned by ear in the first place,
yeah,
I'm sure it's just
yeah,
man,
yeah. I don't know.
that's
There's
not fair.
there's just it's different subject matter has a different feel, has a
Yeah.
different if you're gonna sing a lyric that says round and round, the music has to move there. That kind of stuff. It just I don't know. It
You
just kind
can't
of
just
comes.
block chord that one out, huh?
Right, well, I suppose you could.
As long as it went
Just
round.
play
and round.
30-second notes. Double kick.
I love this. I love this. Oh man.
But the new process, with the new studio and all, I can bring that groove up. I can bring a shaker in and change the feel of the whole song, and it just gives you a whole different way to go with that.
Adding different flavors. Oh yes.
Yeah, and layering it up, and it always takes you a little bit off the path that you started, but sometimes it's good, sometimes not so much.
Oh yeah.
But
That's how you figure it out if it's good or not.
exactly. So I mean, that's try and write 20 minutes a day at least, the very minimum. Lyrics.
Wow, it's kind of like the Stephen King approach, where he just makes himself sit down and write for 2 hours a day. So, kind of the same idea, but this is music.
Man. Grab a cup of coffee, head downstairs, boom.
Nice.
First 20 minutes, nobody's up. Yeah,
It's alone time.
alone time.
Right in front of that old keyboard stuff. Yeah. So that's awesome. All right, but you ready for a little juvenile destruction here?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I am or not.
Oh, this is great. This is what we call off the roof. So here's this week's recycled off the roof. Go. I grab these at random now because I got to make some fresh ones, but I have no idea what it is. But it definitely came apart. Oh, I know what it is now.
Wow. Coffee cup.
Sort of. It's more of a planter.
Okay.
My daughter helping me out. That's how long that whole thing took.
Wow. Well, that wasn't so bad.
That was perfect name, too. You're hired. So there we go. This is Mike's probably sitting back just like, what are you doing and why are you doing that? And I'm just like,
Well, it's a tradition, right? You do that every
it
time?
is a tradition.
Awesome.
First off, and the second thing is that I grew up in this house, so a million years ago, and we've had big old, raging parties and everything else. Inevitably, someone would get on the roof and be throwing random electronics off, watching them explode on the driveway. So I'm just keeping the tradition alive.
There you go. That's good.
So if you have anything you want us to destroy on tape or whatever else, basically it's what you see when I get bored and have a few GoPros and, and some editing software. Yes.
There
That's
you
where
go.
all the fun begins. But if you have anything you want us to destroy, throw it in my yard, whatever else, and we'll come pick it up. Anything, if you have any suggestions of what you want us to throw. I still want to get, someone made the suggestion of throwing a full jar of mayonnaise off the roof. Now, granted, that's going to be a major mess, but oh my God. Can you see that in slow motion?
Yeah, and you need to get the one too at like Costco. That's
exactly,
huge.
exactly. Oh man, so that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
As soon as I get back to it, I still got a bunch of junk out there. I got to get rid of everything else, but I'm working on it. We'll get back to it. At least some of the fresh stuff, but the old stuff's still fun. But so, Mike, what do you got left for the good of the order? Where are you going to be at and all that? Besides on Harvey?
I'll be Harvey on Friday. I'm at the Rough Grouse Roadhouse in Langby on Saturday. And I'm at the Roundhouse Brewery in Nisswa on Sunday.
Oh, jeez. 3-day weekend, yeah.
3-day weekend. The last of the 3-day weekend.
Oh, and then it gets
bigger. It starts on Tuesday next week.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, so, yeah.
If you like performing,
hey.
That's the way to be. I love being out there, love being on the stage, love doing all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I'm a little envious, just a little. But that's okay.
You can do it.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Thanks, man.
Been
Appreciate it.
Working on your entire life. So where can we find you at?
Of course, you can go to my Facebook, Mike Morse Music. Just search that on Facebook,
Yep.
mikemorselive.com, at Mike Morse Live on Instagram. And that's pretty much it.
And you have a website?
Yeah, mikemorselive.com.
It's mikemorselive.com.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so you can find him on all that. And, yeah, he's pretty much packed booked now. But, you know, I'm sure a conversation can start for some reason, for something.
I've got like maybe 4 dates left before the end of the year.
Ooh,
anybody
there we
wants
go.
them.
Come and get them while they're hot. There they are. And you can find us all on the TikToks up to the Instagrammies and everything else at Uptown Tonight Podcast and Uptown Tonight Podcast at Gmail. And you can also find everything you need to know about us at Uptown Band Fargo. So it's Uptown, we're a band in Fargo.com. And that'll give you everything that's going on with the band and the podcast and all that stuff in between. So, Mike, you got to remember, if your drummer's got more charisma than your front man, band may be in trouble. But that's why my band's doing just fine. So until next time.